In today's lesson, we're going to multiply integers symbolically. This little flowchart thingamaroo works well for us when we have two numbers. If we got three numbers or four numbers, there's a little bit more to it, and we'll talk about that for the last couple examples. But here's how it works. With the signs, if we're dealing with two numbers, if the signs are the same, in other words, they're both positive, or both negative, the answer is positive. If the signs are different, then the answer is negative. Okay? So, a couple examples here. If I had positive 2 times positive 9, or negative 3 times negative 4, and just as a reminder, if I'm writing this down, you should write this down. Positive 2 times positive 9, the signs are the same, they're both positive, so the answer is positive. And we know this. This is like trivial multiplying that you've been doing for 5 years. It's positive 18. But the other thing that's important now that we're learning about negatives is if we multiply two negatives, we get a positive. And 3 times 4 is 12. So negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. When you multiply. When you multiply.
What about if it's a positive and a negative?
Well, let's talk about that right now, because we're going to talk about when the signs are different. So examples of that could be positive 5 times negative 11, or it could be negative 12 times positive 3. In both these cases, we have a positive and a negative, and we would say that these signs are different. And when the signs are different, the answer is negative. So, negative. What's 5 times 11?
55.
So it's negative 55. And again, signs are different. 12 times 3 is? 36. So when I do these questions, the first thing I ask myself is it positive or is it negative? And then I do the multiplication. Okay? If the signs are the same, it's positive. If the signs are different, it's negative. Let's do a couple examples and see how this all shakes out. All right, so positive 2 times negative 9. What's the sign?
Negative.
Negative. 2 times 9 is?
18.
Giddy up. There we go. Easy as pie. Right?
Say they were flipped, like the negatives on the positive side and the positives on the negative.
Okay. Next one. What's the sign? Positive. And 4 times 11 is?
44.
Fantastic. There we go. Question C. What's the sign? Negative. And 3 times 6 is? Beautiful. There we go. All right. Now, not that this next piece gets harder, but it is a little bit more detailed because we got 3 numbers. How do we deal with the 3 numbers? Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to tell you, if you want I mean, you know that I am a stickler for showing your work. That's not a surprise to any of you. However, I'm going to tell you, you could jump right to the answer, but here's how you're going to do it. What I want you to do is I want you to count the negative signs. It doesn't matter if there's 2 of these, if there's 3 of these, if there's 5 of these, if we're multiplying 20 numbers. Count the negative signs, okay? Count the negative signs. How many negative signs do we see? 2. Okay, so here's the trick. The trick is, actually I'll put it below because it's easier. If the number of negatives is an even number, then the answer is, wait for it, positive. If the number of negatives is an odd number, the answer is going to be negative. So, I asked the question, how many negatives are there? And you answered?
2.
Is 2 an even number or an odd number? It's an even number, so the answer will be?
Negative.
Positive.
Positive. I don't understand.
Then we just go ahead and multiply the numbers. What's 4 times 2?
8,
Times 10?
80,
Beautiful, done. So again, count the number of negatives. If the number of negatives is even, the answer is positive. If the number of negatives is odd, then it's negative. And that's actually true for the ones we did above as well. But this is a rule that you can always use. And this, again, I'm showing you this rule when we're multiplying integers. If we're doing other operations, this rule may not apply. So let's do one more example here. Next question, is the number of negatives odd or even? So the answer is going to be great. And 8 times 2 is? 16 times 3 is? 48. There you go. It's positive 48. Now, the one thing I will tell you is, especially when we get into these multiple numbers, not like more than 2, is it's going to test your multiplication facts. And before anyone asks, you don't get to use a calculator. If anything, you can always do some scrap work off to the side, which is totally appropriate. If you don't know what 16 times 3 is, that's okay. Do some little work off to the side here and figure it out, and that's fine.